Okay, I'm gonna need that liquid courage today. Coffee. Oh god, YouTube, I'm back. It has been a really long time. I'm going to do a part 1 of a 2-part series today about interviewing for a position at Sephora. I hope you guys like it. I apologize for the rambling, and the just overall awkwardness because it has been a very long time since I've been in front of a camera. So if you guys want to know some tips and how I got hired at Sephora, just keep watching. I'm not gonna lie, this is going to be so unbelievably awkward for me because it's the first time I've done a video in a year maybe. It's been a while. I have changed. I want my channel to go in a completely different direction than before. By the way, I am doing my makeup while I'm doing this story. Anyhow, I would love to do more minimalism videos. I've gotten into that. That's a thing with me now. But this is some good advice, hopefully for those of you who want it, on how to get a job at Sephora. So I'm putting my makeup on, so if you guys want to know what anything is, I will link it down below. So I got let go from my job, and I won't say what job it is, but I got let go from a job and I had to find another job, at least part-time, definitely full-time, but at least part-time in the meantime, to make money because I have a family. I have a 5-year-old and a husband and a mortgage and things of that nature. So when I was let go from my job, which was just the highlight of my year, when I got let go from my job, I was like, maybe it's time to do what I actually want to do. And I had I have applied to Sephora multiple times. I have applied to the one that is closest to me, that is in their Jcpenney. I have also applied to a freestanding that is in a mall that is close to my house. But this time I applied to a freestanding, not a freestanding, I'm sorry, one inside Jcpenney that also had a freestanding in it. So probably the same day that I was let go, I went online and I went to the Jcpenney Indeed website, and I saw that they were hiring for product consultants, and it wasn't seasonal, it was just regular, just a regular position. So I made sure that I put my retail experience on there and you know, my education and all of that, because I know you don't necessarily need a bachelor's degree to work in retail, but you know, I've heard from other people it looks good. I applied, and about, I don't know, let's see, foundation always looks so weird on me. Anyway, maybe 4 days later, I got a call back from this really, really nice lady, and she was like, I got your resume, I want you to come in for an interview, when are you available? I was like, well, you know, I don't want to sound too needy. I said, I'm pretty much available whenever, you know, it's convenient for you guys. So I did go in, probably 2 days later. I went in early. Side note, what to wear to a Sephora interview. Now, I'm 31, so I have had my fair share of interviews, and normally I know how to dress appropriately for interviews, being that I am so old. So it's a little bit different with Sephora. I did look it up on YouTube. I looked at what some people were doing, what they were wearing. I know a lot of girls that saw like jewelry on their face, so I'm like, okay, they can't be that strict. I hope they're not that strict. So what I wore was, I think it was black pants, a black shirt, black cardigan, but I had, actually, so funny, it's right here. I had this necklace on, so I made sure that I wore Sephora colors, because when you go there, you want to look like you already work there. And I also had a pair of red high heels on. So that's what I wore. I made sure that I did my makeup with everything that they sell in Sephora. So I had heard a lot of stuff online about the interviews, what to wear, what not to wear. That's what I chose to wear. That's what I would have worn in probably any other interview too. So I felt comfortable in that, and I wore, for my makeup, I had on basic neutral eye. I had on like a wash of red, kind of like a lip stain. It was one of those Clinique like lip balm stains, and that was pretty much my makeup. Bronzer, because at that time contouring was like just really getting like really big. It was huge. I only did a little bit of that. I'm not huge into contouring. I'd rather just be skinny and not have to contour. So I went to the interview. Well, I went to the Sephora in Jcpenney, and I walked up to the register, and there was a girl working there, and she was nice, and I told her, you know, I have an interview at 10 with who was then the store manager at the time. And she was like, oh, I don't know where she is. And I was like, well, that's a positive sign. So they eventually found her, and she apologized, and she's a little, she seemed like she was like a little all over the place, but genuinely a nice person. So, like I said, I didn't really know what to expect, because online I had heard so many people had to do group interviews, and they had to go on the floor, and they had to sell the item to the manager, and I was like, crap, I do not want to do that. So eventually when she got to me, we were walking towards the escalator to go upstairs into the offices that they have upstairs at Jcpenney, and she was actually making a joke about the fact that her Too Faced lipstick had some very inappropriate name, and I felt a little bit more comfortable and at ease that she was joking with me about it. She's like, I'm supposed to sell this thing, and it's called like NARS's Deep Throat. It was a little awkward, but it was kind of funny. So I got upstairs and I went to her office, and we sat down, and basic general interview questions. What are some positive traits? What are some things you feel like you need to work on? So she asked me my favorite brand and then my favorite products. So I told her the Dior Show Mascara. I think it was the Kat Von D Liquid Lip, and I threw something else in there. Sorry guys, it's been a year. I don't remember the exact thing that I said, but I said something to that effect. So she was happy with that. We actually started talking about like kids, and you know, I told her I had at that time he was like 3, probably 4, just turning 4. He just turned 5 this past weekend, so Mama doesn't feel old or anything. But we talked about kids, and then the interview was over, and I was like, okay, I don't really know how that went. I think it went okay, maybe, possibly. So she's like, I will give you a call and I will let you know what we decide. I have a couple more interviews, so I will let you know. And I was like, okay. In the meantime, since I am just always so anxious, I was Googling, you know, what are good signs of an interview? When are you going to get the job? And it was probably not the best thing to do, because all I did then was just worry about whether or not they were going to call me. Because like I said, I'd wanted to work at Sephora my entire, basically, from the time I was 21 and I'm now 31. I was 30 at the time. So I really wanted this job. Even if it was going to be a second job, I really wanted this job. By the way, let's see how well I do on my brows. I waited and I waited and I waited, and maybe, I think it was like 3 days later, I got a phone call from, let me fix you. I got a phone call from, not her, but I got a phone call from the assistant manager, and the assistant manager said, oh, hi, this is assistant manager's name. I'm not going to say because I don't want to tell anybody where I worked. I just wanted to let you know that, you know, we really liked you, and we, you know, think that you would be a good fit to come work at Sephora. And I was like, oh my god, my dreams are coming true. I was like, yes, I'm gonna get gratis, I'm going to learn things, I'm gonna, like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna, like, actually do what I want to do with my life, because I went to a 4-year school and I got a degree in creative writing, which is completely pointless, although now I use it, but before I didn't. And she was like, when can you start? And I was like, technically, if you wanted me to come in today, I could, but I didn't want to sound desperate. So I said, you know, this week is fine, just tell me when you're available, whatever is convenient for you, make sure that you make it convenient for them, because it sounds way better. And she goes, okay, well, you're starting with a new girl, another new girl. She's going to start the day before you, and then you guys will be trained together. So I was like, sweet, awesome. Hung up the phone, I called my mom, I called my dad, I called my husband, and I think I posted it on Facebook probably because I was like that excited about it. And I had finally gotten a freaking job. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. Coffee break. And while, the other important thing is, while I was on the phone with her, she did say, by the way, if you have this Aspyn Ovard palette, this thing is such a pain in the ass to open. Comes complete with the shattered highlighter. She said, just make sure that you come in wearing black. And I was like, okay. And she's like, no open-toed shoes, just, you know, if you have a pair of flats, that'll work. And I was like, okay. So I think I wore black pants and what else did I wear? Black pants, black t-shirt. I wore just basic hoop earrings, and obviously I did my makeup the way it should look if you work at Sephora. And then when I was walking up, I saw this like tiny little girl, because she looked like a girl to me because I'm so old. And I was like, oh, she must be the new girl too. And the poor girl was wearing heels, and they were open-toed, and I felt so bad for her. And the funny thing is that we actually ended up being really good friends, and we were usually, when we were working together, we were always together, which, that's going to be in my second video about how, well, Sephora is a revolving door, so we're going to do that in my second video about actually working at Sephora and why I eventually quit Sephora. That was basically the whole interview process. I think what happened is I just got super lucky that I had a one-on-one, because when I ended up talking to the girls that worked there, who, by the way, I didn't hate one of the girls that worked there. They were all super nice. I would work with them in a heartbeat again. I loved all of them. Like I said, I still talk to the girl that I got hired with, the 21-year-olds, and I'm 31. There's a 10-year difference, but we still talk and hang out. It got kind of bad. It was good for a really long time, and then it just got bad and weird. So that is going to be in my second video. And just on the side to let you guys know, if you do get hired at Sephora inside Jcpenney, I know it's different because I talked to a girl in the freestanding store about training. If you get hired at Sephora inside Jcpenney, be ready. You have to do mandatory Jcpenney training, and then, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Seriously? You have to do mandatory Jcpenney training, and then you also have to do this thing called SOS training, and you literally sit in a room and you write down everything that Sephora can possibly tell you about skincare, AHAs and salicylic acid, and a bunch of skincare stuff that you're never going to remember. Seriously? I love this Fenty stuff, but it's so gloppy. So on, I think it was the second day that we were doing the videos, the supervisor came up and she was like, yeah, no, you guys are just gonna go on the floor and you're gonna work. And I was like, praise baby Jesus, I can't stand these videos. However, like I said, if you go to work at a Sephora inside Jcpenney, be ready with a pen, pad. You can leave it. I left mine at the register, because people come up to you and say, well, what's the best thing to use for age spots? What's the best thing, you know, I have breakouts, what product should I use? Although 99% of the time they didn't actually buy the product because it was too much out of their budget, which is another thing that I'll talk about in the other one, working under Jcpenney Sephora as opposed to a freestanding Sephora. But that was basically my interview process. It was like so chill, so super easy. Like I said, I think I really lucked out on my interview because, like I said, the other girls were so pissed when they found out that I didn't have to do a group interview. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. So I would really love to do a video on actually working at Sephora, which I am going to do in the future. I want to, like I said, I want to do more like minimalist videos. I do want to do some more makeup videos. I am still into makeup. However, you know, my interests in the past year have shifted a little bit. You know, becoming more of an adult, and things like makeup and, you know, reviewing makeup, which I love to do, is not necessarily always the best option for me because mama needs to pay her mortgage. So those are just some basic tips. Just go in there with confidence, answer the questions the best of your ability. If you're stumped, I'm sure you can think of some answer, like, you know, what are your favorite products? You might not like the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, but you could say, I love the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. It is my life. It has changed my life. I love it, and they will be happy with that answer. So, it's an interview, guys. It's just, it is what it is. So, that is pretty much it. I get to go do my grocery shopping for the day, for the week, because adulting is the thing. So, like I said, I will be coming out with a part 2 about working and why I quit at Sephora. And by the way, it's preseason hockey, so go Rangers, just throwing that out there. I hope you guys subscribe. That would be awesome because, like I said, this is what I want to do for a while. I want to do some other videos. And, you know, hope you liked the video. I hope you got something out of the video. If you guys have any questions, just leave them below. and I will return with another video about Sephora. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you later.